Hello, APUSH students. It's Mr. McCloskey coming to you one last time during the summer on Saturday, August 6th. I thought it was very important to reach out to you one more time regarding the summer assignment, particularly in light of something that I was just made aware of 2 days ago. First of all, a reminder that the written portion of your summer assignment is due this Thursday by 11:59 p.m. Thursday night, and you are submitting it through the Google Classroom. That is the written portion of your summer assignment, where you are choosing one 3-part prompt, and you are answering all 3 parts of that prompt, and you are writing a total of 3 200-word single paragraph essays. Nothing has changed on that. Just a reminder that that is due by this Thursday, August 11th at 11:59 p.m. You are submitting it through the Google Classroom. Now, the main reason that I'm reaching out to you is I kind of received the ultimate ambush early this week, and that we were told that before the school year even began, students would lose access to Google Classroom. Now, in this very lengthy transition to using Schoology as a learning management system, we were all made aware that Google Classroom would disappear. However, we were it was a little bit of a surprise that it would happen before the school year began. Luckily though, as several of us that have that have summer assignments, we're able to bring up the point that we really need this Google Classroom. A decision was made that Google Classroom will continue until Friday, August 26th. So at some point during the day on Friday, August 26th, all Mount Lebanon students, as part of their Google package, your access to Google Drive, your access to Gmail, you will no longer have access to Google Classroom. Now, don't worry, nothing else disappears. Google Sites don't disappear. Your Gmail doesn't disappear. Google Drive doesn't disappear. None of that. We are simply no longer having access to Google Classroom as part of our Google package on Friday, August 26th. So here's what that means for us. You are still submitting, and 13 of you have already submitted your assignment through Google Classroom. As advertised, I will have them all graded by Sunday, August 21st. I return to school for a week of clerical and in-service days, Monday, August 22nd. That's the busiest week of the year for me. I need to have the summer assignment graded by then. And so I will have it graded by Sunday, August 21st. I will return them all at once. And in the past, I've just entered the grades directly into Google Classroom. With the transition to Schoology, that may be a little bit more challenging this year. Nevertheless, you will see what your grade is. However, with the disappearance of Google Classroom on Friday, August 26th, that presents a new wrinkle. There's nothing that I can do about it. I wasn't aware of this until this week. It was a little bit of a surprise. But with the elimination of Google Classroom on Friday, August 26th, that means that I need you to access your returned summer assignment sometime between Sunday, August 21st, and of course, you'll receive a notification through your student email account that I have returned the assignment, and I will reach out and email all of you and tell you that your assignment has been returned. Because at some point on Friday, the 26th, you will no longer have access to the rubrics that I used, and it's a total of 12 rubrics. There are 3 essays. There are 4 essays per rubric, one for the topic sentence, one for the evidence and analysis, one for your conclusion, and one for your conventions. That's 4 rubrics for 1 essay times 3 separate paragraphs. So there's 12 rubrics that are in there. I cannot grade your essays in any other fashion. It just doesn't logistically work. It takes a long time to grade. I'm happy to do it. It's part of my job. But to all of a sudden try to switch to some other format of having a rubric when it is so convenient and so efficient to read your essay in Google Classroom, to make the comments on the Google Doc right there, and to use the rubric in Google Classroom. You will lose access only to those rubrics starting on Friday, August 26th. I have been assured by people at the highest level, you will always be able to access your returned summer assignment. It will be accessible, though, through your Google Drive, not through the Google Classroom. And the good thing is, the most important part of the summer assignment, the whole reason we do a written portion and just don't take a test, is you need this feedback. Now, obviously, if you write 3 A+ paragraphs, the feedback will be more minimal. I still will go through and highlight and be like, this is a very good use of evidence. This is very strong analysis. I will still go through and reinforce all of that, right? However, this being new, a lot of times students need some help, right? And point out all of the technical things that you need to do, particularly with your citations. And most importantly, feedback. Okay, your topic sentence, if it got a 10 out of 10, I would write excellent complex topic sentence. Okay, that comment will be forever saved on your Google document in your Google Drive. However, if you got an 8 out of 10, and I'll explain why you got an 8 out of 10, you won't be left in limbo. I would highlight it and say, this needs to be a complex statement, or highlight something and write, why, clarify, vague, awkward, something to those lines. That's the most important part of the written portion of your summer assignment, and that will be saved forever. You can always access that. It's just you won't be able to access your summer assignment through the Google Classroom after Friday, August 26th. The document with my comments on it will only be in your Google Drive. So that's good. As I said, the bad news is you have to look at the rubric by Friday, August. I would say do it by obviously Thursday, August 25th, because Friday, August 26th, those rubrics are going to disappear, and it would be very easy. Just simply screenshot it. I think that would be the easiest way, so that you have that. So you remember, okay, this is the grade that I got. I can always read this guy's comments, and I see, okay, this topic sentence got an 8 out of 10. This one got a 9 out of 10. This one got a 10 out of 10. So you can go back and look and compare and see your difference. So that's the most important thing. And I know that it's painstakingly slow, but I need to be sure I communicate to you. You will always have access to my comments in your actual essays on the Google document that I return to you, but you can only access it through your Google Drive starting Friday, August 26th. So prior to Friday, August 26th, the one thing you need to do is look at the rubrics, and if you're fine with it, you're like, okay, I got an 85%. I read all of this guy's comments. I see exactly what I did right, see exactly what I did wrong, then let it go. But if you want to preserve my actual rubrics, please make sure that you screenshot that or write that down prior to August 26th. Once again, even if you are one of the 13 people that already submitted your summer assignment, I will return them all at once and post all the grades at once on Sunday, August 21st. Okay, check that box. The next pieces are very quick. Once I return the summer assignments, I always get emails saying, I don't understand why I got my grade. And I always have to write back, please see the comments that I made on your Google document. So please make sure you read all of those comments. They are extensive. It is logistically impossible for me to meet with you the week of August 22nd. I'm so busy at school, and that is compounded by the growing pains experienced by switching over to Schoology. After you read all of my comments and you still there's something that you don't understand, we can meet in person once you return to school. As you prepare, and I wrote in this email reminders about preparing for the test the second day of school, the 2-part test. 40 questions that come from the stimulus-based multiple choice questions and 20 questions that come from the traditional multiple choice questions. I provided you links to those study guides again. They are in the Google Classroom with the summer assignment. Please make sure that you've made a copy of those so that you have those once you lose access to Google Classroom on Friday, August 26th. You have them in my email, so you always have access to those. And I reminded you that, certainly collaboration is encouraged. You also need the textbook. Once I return to school, and I've done a ton of work with Schoology. I took the online classes last year. I went into school multiple times this summer, went to a formal Schoology in-service up at school this summer. We don't, as teachers, have access to our actual Schoology class, all of our, my 4 sections of APUSH. That's coming soon. The very first thing that I do will be to add the resources of the textbook. You already have access to the most important thing, which is the daily detail sheet, which I will place in the Schoology. Every student will have the same 3 folders that come up in Schoology. One of those folders is labeled current work, and you will have access to that detail sheet, which I included another link to it again for the first and second 9 weeks in this email. You'll see how everything fits out, but I will obviously start building resources in Schoology as soon as I have access to our particular class. But the textbook, which you need for the summer assignment, in this email, I sent you links to chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because once you lose access to the Google Classroom, that's where you've been accessing that. So you can either make a copy of those chapters, which are in Google Doc form. I apologize for losing my train of thought there for a second. Or you can access them through this email. Just be aware that you can't access the summer assignment through Google Classroom starting on Friday, August 26th. And again, I am sorry to be beating a dead horse with this, but like Coach said in college, it takes no talent to be organized and to work harder to communicate. So that's the very least that I can do, is make sure that I'm working hard, that I am communicating everything effectively, and that I am organized. So making sure that you don't lose that. So talked about that. Make sure that you read in the email the recommendations for preparing for the exam so that you don't get overwhelmed at the last second. And finally, to wrap this up here, over 12 minutes into it, 13 of you have submitted your work already. I'm actually going to start grading them tomorrow to space them out. I'm not asking for sympathy or for pity. I love my job. It's a great job. But the summer assignment is something that is really heavy lifting. It takes a very long time to do, depending on especially the quality of the work and how much feedback I need to give. So I'm actually going to get started on those tomorrow. And as I spelled out for you, there is 0 penalty of waiting until 11:59 p.m. on Thursday, August 11th to hit submit. It's not like you pick up the early bird special or anything like that. Everybody is graded by the exact same criteria. So if you are finished early, you can submit it. It helps me to spread out the grading. I'm just simply going overboard in saying there's nothing to be gained by turning it in early. In effect, you are just doing me a favor. So thank you. Thank you very, very much. But the criteria is all the same, and they are all returned on the same date. So I apologize for the length of this video and the length of this email, but like I said, I need to make sure that I effectively communicate that you will not have access to your Google Classroom start on some point on Friday, August 26th. So just make sure you are prepared. Class is never like this. Class is a little bit more engaging, a little bit more interesting, but I wanted to make sure that I got all this out to you. So thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions after watching this and reading all the information in this email, please reach out to me via email as I'm on the clock, really nonstop. So just let me know. Okay. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Enjoy the last couple of weeks of your summer, and see you soon.